Hey guys, this is Brandon from Niche Gamer.
And this is Cody.
We're here to talk about The Elder Scrolls Online. It's their new Summerset expansion. Both of us played it. I'm a giant Todd Howard Bethesda fanboy, so
I'm not necessarily, but
so it's gonna be like good cop, bad cop up in here.
pretty much, yeah. I
So
mean, yeah,
so
you
well,
like Todd Howard financially dominating you.
I mean, all right. So a bit of background: like neither of us really played Elder Scrolls Online before we did this demo at GDC. So I played it like briefly with the beta, and then I buy games and I just don't play them because I don't have any time.
So you're a
Um,
consumer whore.
I know.
Nah,
Um, like
I
I
mean, I
like
have like 300 games on Steam, and I think I've probably played
Jesus.
40 of them.
Oh my god.
It's bad, man.
Yeah, like I've been trying so hard to resist the Steam shit too.
It's not
Uh,
even really that. It's like I feel like um I don't know. I get a lot of bundles. So I'm just like, oh, there's a bundle that's like $1 and it has like 20 fucking games in it.
Jesus.
I'm like, oh my goodness. And there's some games in my list that I haven't even heard of. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's crazy.
Anyway,
Um,
so ESO, yeah.
yeah. So I bought the original game back in the day because it was cheap or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'll play it, MMO, blah, blah, and in no time. And then the big retard edition for Morrowind with the giant dwarven Colossus statue
Mhm.
dropped crazy in price. I'm like, oh, I have to get it. So I got it. Yeah, never played it. So, um,
Yeah, I mean, I played it. I remember they had an open beta. Jesus, like 2 or 3 years ago. I played that, and I just didn't suck me in. I'm not an MMO guy though. Like,
yeah.
I have a lot of friends who just like lose their souls to MMOs, and
Yeah,
I
like
just
you were never really into MMOs. It's right. Yeah, because
no. Like you guys always played. What, are you like coughing? Sorry, my dog is just like.
I can't wait.
Anyway, yeah. So we were. Y'all used to play like WoW. I got friends that played Final Fantasy. And I would always start playing them, and then just be like, I'm like kind of bored. I don't know. I think I'm more of a I'm all about game mechanics and I'm all about story. And MMOs have like, I mean, they have game mechanics, yeah, but it's very much just like click on that guy and then cast an ability. I mean, ESO is a little different. It's more active, but it's still kind of like because you don't even necessarily aim. Like you
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
do, but it just kind of shoots. Like that was when I was playing it. I was kind of confused by that because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna aim, and then my shot just like went right to him, and I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm not really aiming, but it still is active in that. Like I don't know, it feels active at least.
Yeah, like it was definitely so I definitely so we have gameplay a recording that I thought was fucking uh shit. Like we like I got we got these huge like fucking full 1080p 60 frames, etc. super
I
high
think
res.
is it in 1080p? I thought it was in 4K because like they had these fancy ass like capture cards that were
Yeah,
like tablets themselves.
come to
I was
think
like,
of it,
Jesus.
yeah, because the file sizes are so huge. We're gonna cut this down to like 30 minutes, and so what you're seeing is basically the new tutorial for ESO. So when you start a new character, um, presumably if you start in Somerset, um, you'll be starting in this new zone where, um, you'll be going through all the motions. They'll it's definitely better than um what they've done before. Like I played the tutorial in the original, which was pretty bad, and then the tutorial in Morrowind is a bit better, um, but this definitely gives you like a really nice just walkthrough of just all the basics, just with combat. And there's no audio because the voices are placeholders in this in this build.
Yeah, it was actually it was actually kind of hilarious because I was
Yeah,
playing and it was that sort of like was it
Portal or
text
whatever.
no, not like Portal. It was just that sort of like that text to speech like that robot voice.
Yeah, like
And it
I'm
was
so
like
happy to see you. You come
yeah,
to the yeah.
it was kind of amusing because it almost felt like some sort of parody. I don't know. I was I was giggling a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I had fun with it. I'm just not a big MMO guy, so my opinion, I don't know. If you don't like MMOs, probably still aren't gonna like it. But if you're a big
Yeah.
MMO guy, then I don't know.
I will say, it's definitely so. If you're a big Elder Scrolls fan, like I'm a pretty big Elder Scrolls fan. Like I'm not like like massive, but I really enjoy the games for what they are. Like unironically, I enjoy them, right? And
Well, if you haven't bought Skyrim at least 5 times, you're not a real fan.
yeah, I own like literally 5 copies of Skyrim. So, um, but yeah, no, like the combat's interesting, right? Because like, so I talked to the developers about this, and we did some one-on-one interviews and stuff. And I just kind of threw some questions at them, and they the combat feels like a weird hybrid of an MMO combat with Skyrim. So
Yeah,
it's like it's bizarre, right? So like you don't auto attack, like you have to manually hit attack each time. Um, but it still feels like auto attacking. Like I don't it's weird, right? Like uh
yeah. That's it. It tries to be this, like an active MMO, but it isn't. But it kind of feels like it is. It's really weird. I don't know how to describe it
yeah.
necessarily. You're like
Um
aiming, but you're not really. I don't
yeah,
know.
especially like I usually prefer playing as hunters or whatever, and one thing I didn't like about the tutorials that I don't know, maybe it's like too old school, but you just find weapons and shit as you go. It's typical Elder Scrolls origin story. You're in the tutorial you start out as oh gosh, this is awful. I actually forget the premise of the origin story for the new tutorial. It's usually like you're a prisoner or a slave or both or whatever. Um,
Yeah,
I think in this one actually you succumb to like this like demon orb. That was the whole thing, right? So like you're in this demon world, so you're not actually in
yeah,
the real world.
yeah.
Um,
I kind of skipped. I skipped a lot of the talking because the robot voice is like just too much for me.
I
But
know.
I'm sure when there's actual voice actors, it'll be a lot more compelling. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna have to read this all with this robot voice.
Yeah,
So
that's one thing that's crazy about the full game, right? So since playing Summerset, I'm like I have to just play the full game to compare stuff like that, get a better foundation of the full game, and like everybody is voiced in the full game. It's fucking insanity. So like any NPC you talk to has a voice actor, and I don't think I've run into anybody with the same voice actor yet. It's been pretty legit. Like, um, I mean, they've put a lot of polish into the game, and it's definitely a lot different from what we've seen. At least from what I've seen with the beta. It's gotten a lot better, and Somerset's bringing a lot of cool stuff too. Like, so obviously a whole new region. It's the Somerset Island. It's gonna be, I think, like they didn't say numbers, but it's it's a lot bigger than Morrowind's Island, and Morrowind's Island is still pretty big.
yeah,
Um, and that's like if you haven't played the original ESO, the actual mainland of Tamriel is pretty fucking big too. Like each zone is it's like I would say it rivals size and scaling in terms of World of Warcraft. So,
yeah.
um,
Well, there's no cliff racers though because Geob killed them all. That's actually canon, right?
really?
Yeah, it's canon. They call him Saint Geob now. He basically after Morrowind, he just killed all the cliff racers, like the guy from the beginning in the boat.
Oh my god.
He killed every single one of them because he hated it. I don't know exactly what his motivations were, but yeah, they call him Saint Geob now. He's like a hero for killing all the cliff racers.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Yeah, cliff racers are the fucking worst. You're just like walking along and you just hear the battle music start, and you're like, son of a bitch.
That's oh my
Um,
god, like the stuff like that is really interesting. Like if you're into Elder Scrolls and you're just fucking sitting there getting blue balls waiting for Elder Scrolls 6, um this will definitely scratch the itch. There's a lot of lore and shit in there. Obviously, it's it's the same. Like it's a different team. It's ZeniMax Online, I think.
Yeah,
But they work with Bethesda, and yeah, some people were saying they butchered the lore. I have no idea. Like I haven't played enough of it to
yeah. I heard
to
there was
know.
something a lot of people were complaining about with the it was like one of the elves that were like what I don't even fucking remember, but it was like they were like cannibals or something, and everybody was like okay, but then they're also like they just basically made them irredeemable pieces of shit. I'm sure my girlfriend could list off the thousands of reasons why they ruined the lore, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't know, like this I'm sure there are people that will get in a tizzy about it, but
Yeah.
these things just sort of happen over the years. I mean, look at World of Warcraft.
Oh
Their
God.
lore is
Yeah.
like in shambles.
Yeah. I mean, it's really really bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Actually, I was talking to a friend and I predicted the exact plot points that would happen in the newest expansion. And he talked to me like a week later and he's like, "Holy shit, dude, you were right." And I'm
that's
like,
awesome.
"Yeah, it's just because it's so bad." But I don't know. I mean, I guess like I was a big fan of Morrowind back in the day. I played a lot of Oblivion too.
Yeah.
So I was never really big on the lore though. I was just like, oh, this is like a cool sandbox. I could just like find stuff in.
One
Fuck
thing
around.
that got me mad though, so I talked to the creative director on ESO, I think. Yeah, we talked about the game and the uh like the origins and stuff when they first started prototyping and stuff like that. And of course, I'm like, all right, so what the fuck happened to the Dwemer? Can you can you please just go on, just tell me? And he's like, no, it's one of those like sacred cows you can't touch. It's actually more fun to leave it up to just like a
But that's
mystery.
wrong.
I
I want to know.
I know. I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, this is a prequel. Why can't they be alive right now? I was like so angry, but he's like, whoa, dude,
Yeah.
calm down. And I'm like, all
Well,
right,
now it's got to the point where you're so like wound up about it that nothing will satisfy you.
that's
Because you'll be
true.
like,
Yeah,
you'll be
like,
like, oh yeah, they actually they died because one of them got the flu, and the rest of them got it too, and they didn't have like the antibiotics, so they all died.
it's like, what was it? Like, you could, like, somebody from an alternate dimension rides on a dying dragon into the Elder Scrolls dimension, and then as the dragon dies, it releases this virus that, you know,
Or it could just be Nabashin from Excel Saga just coming in and just shooting everybody. There you go. I think that's what happened. Actually, that's my
he's like,
head
don't
canon.
worry, baby. It's like, my machine.
The fucking
Oh,
show
man.
is wild. Anyway,
So
so
good. Yeah, but
yeah, I mean, I had fun playing ESO. I would probably want to get hands on with it without the robot voices,
yeah.
but I don't know. Maybe it's something I could try playing.
Yeah,
I've
the
just been so
thing
cheap on MMOs.
I definitely want to talk a bit about like just overall like how ESO feels and stuff with the current build, because from what they were telling us, Summerset is not that different. Like even when it's going to launch on the PTR and stuff, like it's not going to be anything drastically different. They're not really changing any core skill trees or anything like that. At least not that we know of. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, they're introducing new stuff like a jewelry crafting skill. There's a new skill line, the CG. I don't know how you pronounce it. Sijic? I guess Sijic order.
Mm,
Um,
I can't. I don't remember.
yeah, like they're basically the precursors to the Mages Guild, I think. Basically,
Huh.
which is kind of cool. And yeah, a whole new quest line, etc., etc. But overall though, like, uh, I think like the one thing I didn't like just in general about ESO is just the loot and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
like didn't it feel like there just wasn't that much like loot at all? Like
Yeah, kind of. It didn't feel like much. Because when you're playing honestly any Elder Scrolls game like Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim. You're just walking around like just picking shit out of boxes and chests, and it kind of felt like it did feel like sort of WoW tier loot where you just like you find a box every now and again and it just has stuff in it. You're like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was sort of weirded out by the stealth system too.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
it
really
didn't really
weird.
work that well, but I don't know. Maybe it was a early build too, so maybe it didn't have all the stuff in the right place where it should be.
Yeah, like I got to play with the stealth a bit more with my main tune in Morrowind, and it seems to kind of work, but it's it's definitely not on the same level as like the core games. I
Well,
guess.
yeah, because then it would be broken. Like in Skyrim,
Yeah,
doing stealth in
yeah.
Skyrim is like ridiculous. You get like the Nightingale armor with the you just one shot everybody with a bow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like, yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, plus there's like latency and whatever. I mean, I
yeah.
will say though, like, once I got like a kind of like I mean, it sounds like so dumb because like people like you're not into MMOs, and it's like, so people who are not into MMOs when they hear, oh yeah, man, I got like a really good rotation going on, man. Like and it's like, oh god, like, I mean, to me,
I
like, it's fun, but um,
I hate like rotations and like priorities and shit. So I
yeah,
used to play with people who were like that. They're like, yeah, man, you gotta have like this and this and this. And I'm like, okay, well, if that's just the thing I don't like about MMOs is you have rotations, and it's like, okay, so that's literally I just do the same thing in every fight basically. I just go boom, 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 wait, boom, 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 and then it's just okay. The fight's over. You did 14k damage, and you're like, great, cool. I don't feel like I actually and like and these big bosses in MMOs, like the health bar is so huge, you just like don't can't even tell if you're putting a dent on it. Like, I
yeah.
mean, the numbers say I am, but I don't see the health bar really moving.
Oh god, yeah, I hate that too. Yeah,
I just don't think it's there for me. But
I don't
ESO, I
think.
mean, I didn't really get any of that from ESO, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
was, yeah,
I mean, they do like for I think they've tried to kind of like adapt that whole kind of typical MMO combat enemy display, whatever. Like, I
yeah.
think it's better than what we're used to, what I'm used to, and but it's I mean, it's to me like it was really weird how like you can't. I mean, maybe I'm just like completely fucking like just a noob here, but like you can't see levels for enemies and stuff. You can see
Mhm.
levels for other players by default, but I checked through all the settings and stuff. I've been playing the core game on PS4, um, and I just won't know what mobs, what levels they are, and usually they make it clear, like, there's like a river troll, and he's just like walking around like fucking big dick swinging. He's like, yeah, yeah, like if you like you try touching him and he just pins you down and just gapes you. You're like, oh no, I can't. Oh my god,
I mean, I'm
why?
sure there's like a small subsect of our audience that's into that. So I don't know, man.
I mean, there's also people who get off to dragons fucking car tailpipes, which
Yeah, let's not talk about that. All right,
I
let's move
know.
on to the next. Let's move on to the next point. I don't want
um,
everybody to know that that's like my secret fetish. Um,
um, but
anyway,
yeah. I mean, I will say though, what ESO really has going for it though is once you start leveling up a lot, um, you choose your core uh, class like Warden, Nightblade, whatever, Dragon Knight, stuff like that. Uh, but you can really kind of customize your build more, and you can morph skills into different types of skills and stuff, and any character can use any weapon, so um, you can really kind of play with your play style a lot to get something like that's like really unique to what you want. Like my current character, he's like a mix of a traditional hunter kind of character, but also like a I guess like a what the hell would you consider like in WoW like a boomkin? So like I have a bunch of spells that I just fucking nuke people with, but I use a bow
Yeah,
as well. So
that's
um,
cool. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like back in the day I used to play like OG Guild Wars, and you could have two different classes, and so I think I was like a healer, but also like a monk, and then
oh
you could
nice.
I like shit where you can sort of just do two things at once. It does seem like a lot of times though, you still get pushed into these optimal builds because there are certain ones that just don't work.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, ESO is
Um,
weird. They have like the skill tutorial, or what is it called? The like the skill guide or whatever. So you level up and it's like we recommend this, and I'll be looking at it and I'm like no. So like
yeah, I mean, my experience was a little less than yours because they switched me over to a different computer because my
oh,
capture thing wasn't working,
it sucks.
and so I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just create my character again. But the guy walked away, and I realized that like the keyboard and mouse controls worked, but like all the prompts flashing on the screen were controller.
Oh,
So I was like, I guess I'm using a controller then. So I
no.
was playing with a controller the whole time. It wasn't really that bad. It was
Yeah, I
just
mean,
I'm
like
such a keyboard and mouse fanboy.
yeah, me too. I mean, I go both ways, but like
I feel like there are certain games that it's just better with a controller. Some games are just better with a fucking mouse and keyboard.
yeah. Well, I feel like ESO, like I haven't really played it that much on mouse and keyboard, but obviously I played it a bunch on PS4.
Yeah.
And man, the gameplay right now is stuck on like me just staring at skills and shit with my character. Um, actually looking at the interface now, the interface unless the interface is different on PC, like I'm not sure, but this is totally different from the current interface on consoles. Um,
hmm
yeah, like at first, like it wasn't like confusing, but uh, they definitely could use a bit more hand holding when it comes to like like there's player housing and stuff. All right, cool. But then there's no player storage till you hit like level 15 or something. Or I'm like, what? So like you can't. So you get all this shit, and you're like, all right, cool. I got all this stuff. I'm gonna go stash it away like the fucking hoarder I am. Like you're doing.
Yeah, it's kind of like that's kind of always what you want in Elder Scrolls games is you want to have like your little dragon horde of just crap. So yeah, that's weird that you keep that. I don't know about that. That's weird.
Yeah, like certain things are locked behind levels like that, which is really weird. Like you can get two weapon sets once you hit I think it's like level 15 or 17, something similar. And once you do, you can swap them mid combat, which is really cool. So you
Huh.
could, yeah, so you can start, bow and arrow, then switch to fucking dual daggers or whatever. Um, and
It's pretty tight.
yeah, and I feel like it's cool, but you know, I don't know, like they definitely need to kind of work on that a bit more. In terms of the showing you how like say when you first go to like the tailor to craft cloth armor and stuff, it'll have like a initial prompt. Oh hey, here's how you make clothes, and like that's it. Um,
Yeah, I actually noticed that when I was playing. It gave me like a prompt. I can't remember what it was for, but I was like, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. And then like 10 minutes later, I was like, fuck, what did that say again? And I'm like, I can't remember, and I couldn't figure out how to do it, so I just like was like, all right, I'll just do something else.
well, the weirdest thing to me though, man, and like this is just me playing the full game. There are no vendors that just sell, at least not that I know of. Like it's just not a thing in this game where they just sell lots of just vanilla armor. It's really weird, or even just like really armor at all. Like there's like these auction houses, and there's they sell like stuff with like they sell like these, what would you call it, like randomized, you can say, oh, it's a medium armor chest piece, right? And you have no idea what the
Yeah,
enchantments are, and you can buy that. I'm like, all right, that's cool, I guess, but you
I
know,
would like never do that.
yeah, I know. Like in the very beginning, you're trying to get just a full armor set, so you're at least, stacked with all the
You
pieces
need
of
that force
armor.
strength, force stamina belt.
Four strength, four stand leather belt. Ah!
So
um,
fucking dumb.
I
Anyway,
know.
yeah. That is
Um,
weird though. I don't know, like, cause that's sort of just an MMO thing. There's always this, even just to make the game feel more like it's real. Like, cause nobody actually buys the fucking like white pieces from like Stormwind. But it's nice to still have that armory there, just selling shit to look like a
yeah,
real town.
yeah. Like I felt. Yeah, I noticed that. Like the game feels like there's NPCs and there's stuff going on everywhere, but at the same time, like it kind of feels like it's still lacking a bit. I mean,
Yeah,
it's I mean, it's a really big world, and it looks pretty damn good.
yeah.
So
I
like
liked yeah. I mean, I made my character, and I thought the world and the character designs were pretty good. The armor looked all right. I don't know. I didn't have any complaints about how it looked. The music's pretty good too.
oh
Is
yeah,
it done by Jeremy Soule?
I think it's another composer. Oh,
Let me look it up. Yes, sir. Oh, it is Jeremy Soule.
really?
Nice.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's the music's really good. Like the obvious, it's like really really good.
He's
Uh,
pretty tight. He
yeah.
actually did the music for one of my favorite games, Putt Putt and Travels Through Time. What else? Pajama Sam Sockworks. That was another one.
Son of
Um,
a bitch.
is actually my favorite game. The GameCube version of Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. It's a
Jesus
very
Christ.
important game. He did a lot of crap before he started
uh,
doing like really good games.
Jesus. Well, anyway. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think, overall though, like, I enjoyed my time with Somerset, and I'm enjoying my time with, the main game, pre-Somerset, uh, yeah, like, I mean, I feel like it's like its own thing, it's not trying to do stuff like WoW or whatever, but I
Yeah,
kind of wish it would do some things more like WoW. Um,
yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's definitely there to satisfy the uh, Skyrim. When's the next one coming out? We don't know. So
yeah.
if you need your Elder Scrolls fix, it's definitely there for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I will say though is, obviously, this team gets asked a lot about the main uh, Elder Scrolls team, and they're not going to say anything. Um, but as far as I know, the only thing that the main Elder Scrolls team does with ZeniMax Online is they consult on like lore and just keeping things in check, and maybe some design and stuff here and there, but nothing like more than that. So it's definitely like its
Yeah,
own thing.
yeah. And I appreciate it for that. I think that I definitely want to get some more hands-on time with it. Um, Before I, make a serious judgment. Because I got there a little bit late because I was at another meeting and I only got to play like a half hour of it. So it's hard to get
Yeah.
a full feel for an MMO in a half hour.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Um.
there were good things though, and I don't know. When it finally comes out, I'll probably have to pick it up. Be like, what's this all about?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're gonna be doing. It might just be me. It might be both of us. I'm not sure, but like we'll be doing some streams with the PTR. Well, it depends on what Bethesda lets us do. But but the actual release for Somerset is on June 5th for PC, Mac, PS4, and Xbox One. But the early access launch is May 31st. Um, and yeah, I wanted to start streaming just my antics in Morrowind, but uh, like was it last night? No, the night before. I was literally just farming this one area just to see like how well you could, well, like farm and grind rather. Like how because some MMOs they kind of frown upon that, like you can't grind level that well. But I actually was grinding EXP like pretty well and obviously I had to get like I had to get some shit to make the leather armor and stuff with. So
Yeah. Um, did you did you make um like one of those like harnesses you see in like gay porn?
God damn it.
I'm
Fucking
sorry.
dude, like I was so confused though, right? Because like I'm like, all right, I'm like a medium armor bow assassin character, right? Whatever, and
Yeah,
I'm like, how do I get more armor outside of fucking finding it or killing stuff and finding it, right?
yeah,
Like none of the shops had it. I'm like, oh, so I go to the freaking crafting thing, and it's like, oh, okay, there's a leather worker merchant, but there's no armor. And then it's like, oh, you have to go to the clothier thingy and make it that way. I mean, I will
that's
give them,
weird.
yeah, like I'll give them credit though, man. Like they have, so imagine like just a basic set of a medium leather armor. You can make
Yeah.
it in like every race's style. So if you wood elf, Breton, orc, whatever, that all of their armor types are different styles.
Oh, that's
So
pretty cool. Yeah, because I mean, in like WoW, you got like, you get like a certain tier, but it's basically all the same for every different character. So you're saying it's like a Khajiit armor would look different than like
oh yeah,
uh what was it I was gonna say Imperial. That is the race. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, the Imperials.
Um.
That's I think they're still locked behind DLC.
Really?
Yeah,
Jeez. Well,
yeah.
but that's like I don't know, man. That's like one of the default races, though. That's pretty odd.
It's the best race. I'm
Well,
a bigot.
it's Dave's
Sorry.
fault.
Anyway, um, but yeah, I think we both overall enjoyed our time, and keep an eye out for more Elder Scrolls Online stuff. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, check it. Yeah, check the game out. It's I mean, oh, a big disclaimer I should have put in, at some point. The game is free to play once you buy the game. That's a big
Yeah, there's no subscription fee. Is what you're trying
yeah,
to say, yeah.
yeah,
Which
like
is nice.
oh yeah. Speaking of which, the other night when I was just randomly grinding and stuff, I bumped into a guy who had like high end gear, etc.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm just logging on for the first time in a long time. I don't know. It's like so there's
No
no
big deal.
yeah, there's just no I mean, there's a population on the PS4 version. Like I was in some smaller cities and stuff, and I saw people, and it's like late as shit at night too. Um, so there are people playing it still. It definitely has a user base, but I'm just not sure.
Yeah.
PC verse
Well,
whatever.
the thing is, can you make a character that looks like Todd Howard?
Well, the character editor is pretty robust too, though. I gotta give him credit. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I made a kitty. He's pretty cool
of
looking.
course. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I like my Khajiits.
You fucking furry heathen scum.
They're
I just
so cute.
swear to God.
Yeah, that's
Um,
me.
well, anyway, yeah. So if you haven't checked out our Patreon, patreon.com/nichegamer, obviously go to our site, nichegamer.com. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, everything. Keep an eye out for more streams. We'll be doing more
It follows
streams.
on Pornhub too.
Oh,
That's the other thing on
yeah.
there.
Yeah, we might start moving our videos over to Pornhub as an alternative for YouTube because that's happening.
Oh Jesus.
Oh God. Um,
Um. But yeah. So yeah, stay in school, eat your veggies, all that.
yeah, yeah.
Wear
Don't
clean underwear.
don't do drugs and be like us. Shoo-ba-doo.
Yeah, you'll end up like us as games journalists. Oof.
Oh God, yeah. We'll be freaking beelining from party to party, like all up on coke like a certain someone. So anyway,
We won't say his name.
yeah,
But
yeah.
uh,
All right.
yeah. So
Anyway,
we're all yeah.
yeah. So thanks again, guys, and we will see you next time.